Carol's written a very funny new book called When You Lie About Your Age, The Terrorists Win.
Comedian Carol Leifer, who is on with us today.
Here's the lovely Carol Leifer, ladies and gentlemen.
Congratulations on your book. I saw the great review in the New York Times. That's pretty fantastic.
Pretty nice. I'm in a terrific mood. I'm so glad you all asked me back. I had a little time today. I did a little shopping. I went out to, is it called the Broadway? Broadway Shopping Center, yes. And I bought some perfume that I'm wearing tonight that I should recommend actually to the women in the audience. It's called Tester. It smells different every time you use it. It's fantastic. So I'm so glad this could work out with my speaking schedule. Earlier in the week, I was doing an event for Planned Parenthood in New York, and I found it very funny and highly ironic that Planned Parenthood flew me on Virgin. So I went home to LA, where I live now, for a couple days, and then I flew in yesterday. But I must tell you, I don't know what it is since the anniversary of 9/11, the security is outrageous. And why am I always the one singled out? You know, the special line, wanted, you know, asking you those dopey security questions. Did you receive any gifts from any unknown person? You know, it's like, buddy, the last thing I got from an unknown person was in the 80s. And I will only make my reservations online now because have you called an airline lately? Oh, I gewalt. 25 minutes on hold. And then when you finally do get someone on the line, you can't help but want to mess with their head. You know what I mean? You're like, record locator? Yes, ma'am. It's K like in the word knee. E is in pneumonia. Okay, so we are here once again to talk about my book. Thank you. When You Lie About Your Age, The Terrorists Win. I really hope you'll pick up a copy afterwards, after my little thing here. I'm going to donate the profits back to the JCC. And it's funny little essays endorsed by the Jewish Book Society, which I was very proud of. Yes, and I was very lucky with my book. I got on the Oprah Winfrey Show right before she signed off, which was amazing, which made my book a bestseller, and so exciting. I did Terry Gross and The View and Tonight Show, and it's really been an amazing ride and a thrill. They sent me everywhere on a book tour. Oh my gosh, they sent me to Mobile, Alabama. Mobile, where the Beverly Hillbillies is on PBS. And even overseas, they sent me to London to promote my book, which was a thrill. You know, but I wasn't used to their money, you know, because I bought this really decadent box of chocolates. The cashier said, "That will be 10 pounds. I'm like, rub it in, why don't you? Grew up in a middle-class family. My father was an optometrist, and his name was Seymour. About predestination, right? My father was very funny. He was, as we Jews say, a tumler. He told a lot of jokes around the neighborhood, with friends, at parties. But he would even come home from work and tell us funny stories, you know, about the clients that he had at the optical office. Like sometimes he would ask people to read the eye chart, and they would actually ask, out loud? Now, why don't you mime it for us, okay? My mom was a shrink up until 3 years ago, a practicing shrink. yes, and she never used to like this joke that I used to do about her in my act, which was, it's hard to picture my mom solving other people's problems when she's the root of most of mine. People always ask me about Jerry Seinfeld and if he's a nice guy. I really have to say he's one of the nicest mensches ever out there, and I'll give you a story to show what a mensch he is. A few years ago, my dad on Long Island took a fall, and he wound up in the hospital, and with some dementia too, and I was a wreck about it. And I called Jerry, and I told him about it. He said, "You're actually in luck. I'm out in LA. Let's do this. I'm going back to New York tomorrow. Come with me." You know, he has a private jet. "Come with me on my plane. You know what? I'm going to get lots of bagels from Nate Nels. You know, we'll fly back, you'll have some breakfast, and you'll see your pop tomorrow," because my dad was in the hospital in Mineola, Long Island, "and you'll feel better." I said, "Jerry, that's so sweet of you." We went on the plane, you know, he had the bagels, blah, 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 blah. I get to New York, I get a ride, and I go to the hospital in Long Island, and I see my dad, and I'm actually very relieved because my father was much better. He was very lucid, and I felt very relieved. And I went home that night, and I slept at their house. I go back to the hospital the next day. I see the nurse. I say, "How's my dad doing?" She says, "Oh, not so good today." I said, "Oh, you're kidding, because yesterday he was so lucid." She said, "No, the dementia's back." I said, "Oh, that's terrible." She said, "Yeah, he woke up this morning. He was talking about how his daughter flew in on a private jet with Jerry Seinfeld. Eating lots of bagels at 30,000